Can y'all hear me? Hello?
Yeah, yeah, let's get it.
All right, here we go. Hey, what's up, Panther fans? This is Country Kev with a four-man rush, coming to you again after a Week 16 performance by the Carolina Panthers. With me tonight, as always, got Big Smooth coming in from the ATL. Down on South Beach, we got Will. So we'll be running a cover 3 tonight as we just chop it up here for another lackluster performance by this team that we love called the Carolina Panthers. Um, Tom Brady and the crew, the defending Super Bowl champs, came to Charlotte. They had several key players missing on both sides of the ball, so playing a lot of backups. They still was able to beat us by the score of 32-6. Pretty much from beginning to the end, they dominated. There was a chance where the game could have been interesting in the second quarter, but it just wasn't meant to be. And I really, it's just really becoming more and more difficult to even find the words to describe when it comes to this 2021 team. I mean, we don't want to sound like we're regurgitating the same stuff every week, but we're seeing literally the same issues, weekly, no matter how much, the coaches and coordinators talk about great week of practice. Everybody was looking good. For some reason, it just never translates over onto the field. With me, as always, being at the game, the crowd, the crowd was definitely entertaining. We'll get into that with the, a little bit later on with the discussion of what was how the players and coaches felt about the things that fans were saying in the stands. But strictly from a performance point, Big Smooth, we'll start off with you, man. Everybody loves to hear you comment because they know you're going to give it to us raw. So go ahead and share what you want to share with us about this latest performance by the team.
Oh, I don't have anything to share. First time in 19 years, I just decided not to watch the product on the field. So I didn't watch the game. I didn't look at no highlights. I didn't keep up with it. I've been killing myself all year long because I work overnight. So I work Saturday night. I get off Sunday morning. A lot of times I'm so excited to watch this team play. I just stay up and watch it through the day. I'm here for the post game Sunday night. Like I literally stay up 24 hours to watch this team. And I decided not to do that. I got me a full 8 hours of sleep for the first time in months, and I enjoyed every second of it. So I don't have nothing to stress about. This team is absolutely garbage. I stopped doing my O-line grades because I didn't see growth from anybody. I didn't see anything else that I could teach you guys as the fans. Everything that you need to know about that O-line has been shown. So fuck this team. I'm not saying I'm not a fan. I'm just not a fan of this organization as it currently stands. I don't like the owner. I don't like the coach. I don't like nobody making the decisions, and I can't stand the product being put on the field. I'm just over it.
And always, folks, giving it to you raw as he feels. When that man say it, when that man speak it, he definitely mean it. Will, from your perspective, just give us your overall analysis and just express a little bit like how this makes you feel as a fan as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing to have a losing season, but the Panthers at this stage has just become an unwatchable team. I mean, the game is not competitive by the third quarter. I mean, Blaine Gabbert's walking into the game, several minutes left in the fourth quarter. Bucks got their starters on the bench. It's just a terrible product overall. I mean, we can't stop the run on defense. I mean, they had our way with us there. Still can't block anybody. Can't run the ball. Tom Brady had 11 yards rushing. Chuba and Amir had 10 yards rushing combined. Let's think about that for a second. I mean, we can't hit open receivers. What else is it? It's just bad football, and just a matter of time. What's David Tepper going to do about it? Does he want to go through this again next year? How much can we improve in the offseason? But, hey, we got 2 more games left, and we can finally turn our focus to the offseason and see what they're going to do to try to rebound next year.
Yeah, definitely this offseason is pretty much what I'm looking forward to. I hate to say it, but, like Big Smooth said, like the passion and the fire to look forward to this team is pretty much gone. Y'all know me. I'm still going to be at the games because, I haven't missed a home game since 2011. Even with COVID last year, I was still able to go to 2 games that they were able to allow us to go in. I just want to go there to enjoy, my Panther family that I've, made in the section that I sit in. Fans were just pretty much just doing, it's like we were watching a game, but we were also occupying ourselves with other things. People talking about their fantasy football, what they got for Christmas. Like, the fans that were there, they really was just, I guess, there because it was a unusually warm 75-degree day, late December in Charlotte. So people just wanted to get out and enjoy it. Some people wanted to see the defending Super Bowl champs come to town. For some people who were in town for the holidays, who were Panther fans who were not from the area, this was their only chance to, see the team play. I had several people hit me up saying that they were at the game for the first time, either in a long time or first time coming. So I hate that you had to wait this long to see such a piss poor performance. Myself, I'll be at the last game, week 18 at Tampa. I had made these plans a while back before I knew this team was just going to totally bomb out the rest of the season. For me, it's just a chance to be in 80-degree weather in January. Meet some people I haven't met before, and just have me a 72-hour getaway, basically. But at this point, as far as regards to this team, I've stated several times on here on my my Twitter page, on my Twitter account, Big Smooth been right all along. I want to take the time to make sure that I let Panther fans know that, the issues that we're having, Big Smooth started seeing them like late last year. And anybody that know me know I'm one of the more optimistic guys of the 4-man rush. I always want to make sure that I'm within reason and logic, but the issues that's showing up now, he been spoke on it. It's just the rest of us finally catching up when it comes to what's been done here. And we're talking about not just on the field, talking about from a coaching standpoint, from an ownership standpoint, from a front office standpoint. Big Smooth has definitely just, he's spot on. He's like Steph Curry at the free throw line. He's like 90% when it comes to, foreshadowing or recognizing early what the issue is before it really manifests itself. So, I just want to make sure that that our fans are aware of that. What else can we say about the game? 44-year-old Tom Brady had 11 yards on 1 carry, and that was more than how much time our running backs ran the ball? Let's see. Chuba Hubbard ran the ball 6 times. Amir Abdullah ran it 8 times. Yeah. So that pretty much explains it right there. For Matt Rhule to fire Joe Brady because I said he wasn't running the ball enough. We threw the ball 45 times to 15. Really, so you got rid of the offense coordinator because he wasn't doing what you want to do, but the guy that you replaced him with is pretty much doing the same thing that you fired Joe Brady for. Because I'm not seeing anything about this that shows that you're committed to this. You got this commitment to the run. You want to be this power run team and things like that. I'm just not seeing it. It's just baffling. That so many times Matt Rhule say one thing, and then show us something else. As a fan, it's just pretty bitter to sit up here and continue to watch and try to support and explain things. It's pretty much like I said, the joy has been taken away. Um, Big Smooth. As far as looking forward, Will was talking about looking forward to off season here. Is there any possible moves that you think, since you're pretty good at foreshadowing, that I'm not saying that we're going to do, that could possibly help turn this team around? You think, or are we just in a shit situation and we just got to let time pass?
Shit situation, because the priority should have always been the offensive line, and we've neglected that. And now you find yourself in a position where, one pick is not going to fix the offensive line plus all the other holes that we have on this team. So probably going to be another scenario that we don't like, where there's a trade back to acquire picks and we pick a bunch of bullshit ass players that don't make the fucking team, like long snappers and shit like that. So I need people to know that this issue that we have as a team is bigger than the coach. It's bigger than the GM. There's a problem upstairs in the ownership office. This man waited 2 hours for Matt to show up to his house. He cooked some meatballs and some bullshit. So Tepper had no idea how a winning coach. And I understand what he wants. You don't establish a winning coach, building all these fancy ass practice fields, and bringing in this sports science team, and we get hurt more than we got hurt the last year and the year before that. Everything that he's doing is just ass backwards. Like, to be honest with you, there was never a problem with our coaching. We had a winning culture. We won a division 3 times. Of course, we want to have back-to-back seasons with a 500 better, but the culture was still established. We still had winners in the locker room. And what you did is you basically just deleted it when it only needed to be rejuvenated. You brought in a whole new culture that has nothing to do with winning. Matt Rhule don't know why do you think Matt Rhule don't know how to win on this level? In college, he couldn't even win you a bowl game. So what are we going to get out of this staff? It's nothing. The problem is upstairs with ownership. Y'all better just hope that he sell a team or he hires somebody and takes his foot off the gas and just becomes a hands-off type of owner. Because as long as we keep getting this Jerry Jones Jr. bullshit, we're going to be in the dumpster fire. So fuck this offseason. I got to see major changes to have faith in the team. And I'm a diehard fan. I got shit tatted on fucking no faith in this organization.
Hey, can't say it much better than that, folks. So, Will, let me flip this around a little bit here for you. I've been on record saying I think we have talent. I just think they're uninspired. Just based on what you noticed, because you're pretty good at spotting things on Twitter and things like that. Do you feel like the players do you feel like they just checked out? Like because it seems like the same players are doing the same things every game, no matter how much is quote preached on. Like, do you think the players, just not hearing Rhule, or do you think that because I don't know, man. I just feel like that is we gotta identify what the real disconnect is, because this team is a lot more talented than what it is, but for that reason, we just put out the same poor effort. Just based on what you see and what you know, how do you feel about that aspect of it?
I don't ever want to say a professional football player is quitting or not trying or not giving his all. I mean, they don't get to this level to loaf and not try. So it's hard for me to say, this guy here is not putting in maximum effort week after week. He's not trying in practice. He's tanking. Them guys, they're going out there and they're working hard, I'm sure. It is what it is. I mean, it's this coaching staff putting them in the best position to win. And are they, do they believe in the system that they're running? I mean, you look on defense. I mean, we give up a big run play. I mean, you have, Brian Burns, congratulations for making the Pro Bowl, but he gets sealed off the edge by Gronkowski. You have a poor tackling effort by C.J. Henderson diving at legs. Justin Burris makes a terrible angle, makes a poor tackling effort. He gets benched for the rest of the game. Then you see Miles Hartsfield not able to get off a block, and give up a 51-yard touchdown run. So, I mean, you see guys, where's the fundamentally sound football? Where's the guys flying to the ball, trying to make a play? just doing their jobs. So, I mean, it's just plays like that. I just think it's kind of where we're at right now with this team. I mean, offensively, I mean, it's just a total disaster. I mean, six points, can't move the ball, running, can't throw the ball. I mean, the circus at quarterback. I mean, I don't know what your plan is there. I mean, you got Sam Darnold comes in the game, throws a 62-yard pass. Very next play, Cam Newton comes in, kills the momentum of that drive. 2 plays go nowhere. Then he puts Darnold back in on 3rd down, and he gets sacked. So, I mean, how's a quarterback supposed to get into a rhythm, in this offense? I mean, I'm not going to talk about who. I mean, I think Darnold's probably going to be the starter the next 2 games, just kind of the vibe I'm getting from Matt Rhule in his interviews. But I just think whoever's a starter, he needs to just be on the field, get in a rhythm, and let us see what we have in these guys so we can make these important offseason decisions. But, and it is what it is at this point. I mean, they're not going to get any better. I mean, I think this Saints game upcoming might be winnable, but they're tough to beat in the Dome. But, I mean, I think we're just looking at a 5-12 season. I mean, top 5 draft pick, and we'll just have to see what direction they go this offseason.
Yeah, definitely well said. I agree completely with what both of you guys said. You know what? We decided before we came on, it's really not too much anything new that we can say or haven't said about this team. So we want to make it all about our fans. So just going to scroll through here and, let you fans, express yourselves, and we'll definitely answer your questions here. Start from the top. Here, Stephen Kyle Belt saying what it do. This was definitely a lot of conversation today. Anthony Miguel Badila, he said, I think Rhule Z got more than 99 problems. Unless you haven't been on social media today, pretty much Matt Rhule had the audacity to say that it took Jay-Z 7 years before he had sustained success until he made it. This, of course, sparked the social media world to really have fun with this, in particular me. I couldn't get the correlation. Like, who the hell wants to wait 7 years? Like, I understand you got a 7-year contract, but we need to see success way before them 7 years. Year 3 has always been your big turnaround year per se, where there's a winning record and there's playing as a contender. But like Big Smooth already said, you ain't won no bowl games, you haven't won the big things, you just had a winning record. So real quick, fellas, if y'all want to speak on this, what you think about start with you, Smooth. I mean, we all big music heads or whatever, but what was your reaction when you heard this Jay-Z comment by Rhule?
I mean, I don't think. I mean, out came out. Jay-Z out 7. So for the bullshit. That was actually he was prepared more. Have some adjustment, make play-by-play adjustment. He can't for shit else, but he know how to make comments about hip-hop just to grab our attention and make us believe in him. It's over with. I knew his seat was warm when you fired Joe Brady, because clearly that firing didn't improve this roster. I mean, the rumor is that he's going to be around next year, but hey, he already lost me. So I know he's lost some guys in the locker room. I know he lost a lot of his fan base. So I guess we just going to go through the motions next year. But in regards to that Jay-Z bullshit, I don't want to hear nothing else from him. I don't want to watch another Rhule press. I don't want to watch another snap with the head coach. I'm sorry, pessimistic. This I don't like. All
right, and there it is, folks. Jay Pray, what's going on? Salute to the 4-man rush. We appreciate it. You also chimed in about the Jay-Z. Rhule think he's a Jay-Z now. LOL. Crazy. Indeed. BTS mega fan. I think he's saying we need to get a new head coach because Matt Rhule sucks. Keep Cam and CMC. I actually agree with that. But it does look like Matt Rhule is going to be around at least one more year for the 2022 season. With this whole Sam Darnold 5th-year option thing, $18 million. I mean, it's going to put in without a limited salary cap. It's going to be real interesting to see if there's an effort or a desire to re-sign Cam Newton or even bring in another quarterback, how they're going to find the money to do it, because whoever comes in, I'm sure they're going to want to make more than the $18 million that Sam Darnold is going to be, that Sam Darnold's 5th-year option is going to be playing. So that's definitely going to be a factor. Jay Pray again. I was at the game too. We had no energy at all. Yeah, man. Like I said, the most energy came when we were chanting fire Matt Rhule, and when we was booing Sam Darnold. That was probably the most energy throughout the game. One of our day ones here, John Brayboy, so disgusted with this shit. Rhule should have been fired as soon as JC reference concluded. Hey, I'm all for anything getting Matt Rhule fired and up out of here, John. So I definitely feel you on that. Let's see here. Coach Rhule is the worst. Here we go. Will, if you want to speak on this one, for all the talk about our O-line, what you guys think about how our defense has regressed?
Have they really regressed, or are they just playing better offenses? I mean, we were the number 1 defense in the league, and more power to them, but they beat the Jets. They beat the Tech with rookie Zach Wilson. They beat the Saints with, erratic Jameis Winston, and their whole entire offensive staff had COVID basically that game. They beat the Texans with Davis Mills. Finally played the Cowboys in a real offense. They gashed us, destroyed us beat us up pretty good. I don't know if this is really an elite defense like we had originally thought after that first, 3 or 4 games. I think, they don't force a lot of turnovers. They don't get takeaways. I mean, they're not sound against the run. I mean, they've done well against the pass. But I mean, when you can run the ball like you can against this team, why would you have a lot of pass attempts when you play this team? They're high in penalties. I mean, how many neutral zone infractions have we seen from defensive linemen, Derek Brown included? They have a good pass rush. I'll give them that. I like what we've seen from Hassan Reddick this year and Brian Burns, but at the same time, where's the interior pass rush? We're not getting a lot of production from those guys at all. And then on the coverage end, I think we're banged up in the secondary. Lost Donte, Jackson, Melvin at COVID. Gilmore got hurt, so now we're down to playing young guys. C.J. Henderson, who's still adapting. Keith Taylor kind of hit his rookie wall. He's been struggling tremendously the past few weeks. So, safety position is still a major question mark. So they got a little bit of rotation going there. I think Kenny Robinson got to play yesterday a lot after Justin Burris got bent. So I think the defense, we just kind of got, they just kind of revealed their true colors, and we kind of found what they are. They're a very good defense. I think they're promising. We still have a lot of needs on that side of the ball. I don't think it's a finished product by any means. They're still very young, luckily. So I think they will continue to improve. But, they're talking about top 5, top 10 defense. I'm not ready to go that far yet, because whenever they've played, capable offenses that can fight back, they haven't really been up to the challenge.
Yeah, ain't that the truth? Definitely. When we play the big boys, we get exposed for what we really are. It's pretty much all there is to it. Another one of our day ones, Miss Adrian Fox said, "Hey guys, again, Jay Pray on the field. We look like we're the worst team in the NFL. I'll fight it all." Yeah, we said that. I think, Will, I think you said it's crazy we're the worst team in the NFL, but we won't get the number 1 overall pick. That definitely seems fitting.
Honestly, they got the Texans won 2 straight games. The Lions, they're playing hard. They won a couple games. Strung some wins together. Jacksonville might have an argument for our title as the worst team in the league. But I mean, they beat Buffalo 9-6 when we lost to Buffalo by 3 scores. So I mean, I think we got a strong case for that title right now. Jets just won this past week, I think. So
yeah, so we're definitely capable of losing to anybody right now, and that's just the status of what it is. Let's see. Question here from Adrian Fox. Did anyone get a chance to look at the interview after the game with the players and Matt Rhule? Yeah, definitely. I did. The players, you can tell they're searching for answers. Again, as you stated, Will, I don't think they've quit, but I definitely think they're just playing frustrated, uninspired, football. It seems like once the momentum for the team gets going, we just really don't seem to feel confident that we have a way to slow it down, and we just try to hang on the best we can until the time runs out. That's just how it feels to me. But yeah, anything come out of Matt Rhule's mouth, I'm looking at with a side eye. So it's just definitely something I'm just not feeling what he has to say, because he either says one thing and does another, or what he says is just some straight up bullshit. Like we're stupid. Like we don't have enough football IQ to see what the deal actually is. So that's pretty much all I got to say about that. John Brayboy said, can you blame them? Week after week, they played their ass off and got no help from the offense. Speaking about the defense, yeah, I definitely can agree on that. Is it normal for a team to have 3 quarterbacks and still not win a game? No, it's not normal. It has happened. If you follow in the division, when the Atlanta Falcons played New England Patriots a few weeks ago, they played all 3 of their quarterbacks and didn't score a point. So yeah, it's not normal, but it has happened.
I mean, look at the New Orleans Saints' next opponent. They've had Jameis Winston. They've had Taysom Hill. They've had Trevor Siemian. They starting Ian Book tonight. I mean, they're 7-7 and right in the mix for a playoff spot. So they're just better coach team than we are.
Right. And always, Mr. Cage, Mr. Luke Cage, thank you for your contribution again on through the super chats, I believe, Will. He states here, the longer Rhule stays and fail, the more damage the team got to climb out of. How can you trust a coach that contradicts himself consistently? Big Smooth, I know you say you kind of tired of talking about Rhule or anything like that, but do you feel like that we're just digging ourselves in a deeper situation? Or is it just already bad and we just got to ride it out?
The longer the situation will be, it identifies the answer at the end of this whole Matt Rhule thing. Looking at off moves he made his personnel, you can just look at the game itself. Do you see any improvement from him at all? Do you see him get better at retaining timeouts, game management, clock management, making end of quarter adjustments, halftime adjustments? The only coaches he's beat are other college coaches, like Cliff Kingsbury, and that was our most decisive win. But when it came to guys like NFL coaches, every single week, there's no growth as a personnel decisions as a zero growth. He doesn't know how to help the offensive line build continuity. Rotate guys out of position that they have to rotate it. We had growth going on, and as soon as one of his guys get healthy, he mixes it up. Like everything that he's done has been a cancer to this organization. Every single thing.
All right, this next question. Do you think CMC would be traded? I'm going to answer that. No, I do not. Simply because of his contract. His extension actually starts next year. I don't think he gets traded. If so, do you hope he gets traded to another team, or do you want him to stay? I definitely want him to stay. He's easily our best offensive weapon. Why do we want to get rid of our best offensive weapon when we're already struggling mightily offensively? That's just me. I think we all can agree Rhule's press conference yesterday was abysmal. Definitely was. Cage Luke Mister says, I was right in 2020, but everybody told me I was negative and I don't know football. I know leadership and I know business. This has been BS. From your mouth to God's ears. You won't get no argument out of me on that one. Here's something I like to talk about a little bit. Only $28 million in cap space with too many free agents to count on my hand and one draft pick in the top 100. Yeah, that's definitely eyesore here. I actually was able to pull this up. I'm gonna share this with you guys real quick. If you don't mind, just take a quick look here. Yeah, so just to show you guys what was being spoken on here. This is the projected. This is by Spot Track, by the way. Spottrack.com is the source for this information. Switched it to the 2022 salary cap here. And over here on the far right-hand side, as you see, again, this is the adjusted salary cap, $212 million. Current active contracts, $177.4 million. As of right now, and we know this is subject to go up depending on what moves we make, we only have $7 million in dead cap, which is great because the last 2 years it's been like 40 and 50 million, respectively. We got about $4.7 million that's left on this year that we can roll over. Estimated cap space is the $28.4 million that Anthony just mentioned. So just again showing you guys a little bit of the insight here. Speculated market value contracts: Hassan Reddick, $15.4 million. Stephen Gilmore, $14.2 million. We got 25 players that's going to be free agents. So just to, just kind of you guys a little insight here on that. Let me go back. I didn't mean to do that. Yeah, and just showing where a lot of the money is going. I know a lot of you fans asked us about the money aspect of it. Taylor Moton's extension kicks in next year. $19.2 million cap hit. Sam Darnold, 18.8 fifth-year option. Shaq Thompson, 18.2. Robbie Anderson, 16.8. Christian McCaffrey, for everybody grumbling and complaining, 14.3. DJ Moore's, I believe this will be his fifth-year option, if I'm not mistaken. 11.1. So, and this will be fun. Matt Paradis won't even have a contract, but because it was a voided year on a restructure, we're gonna count $8.2 million, and he's not even gonna be on the team next year, more than likely. So that's just fun. Pat Elflein and Cam Irvin, $7 and $6.5 million respectively. So again, this when you ask why we can't have money to sign players, this is just some insight for you fans to know exactly why. Again, spottrack.com sources information. Again, just wanted to share that with you guys. Go to the next question here. Will, I think you mentioned here, has the Gilmore injury changed y'all opinion on whether you want Donte or Gilly? What's your preference?
I mean, look at our cornerback room now. I mean, J.C. Horn's coming back. You got C.J. Henderson, Keith Taylor, A.J. Boye's coming back. Troy Pride getting healthy. So you got a lot of guys on rookie contracts still. So I think you have a little bit of wiggle room to pay one of those two. I can't imagine bringing them both back. I think it's overkill, especially when you have one draft pick in the top 100. You need a lot of offensive line talent with little cap space. Why are we going to pay, high cornerback contracts with other needs on the roster and very little draft capital to address those needs. So I think one of them will walk. Do you want to go with youth or do you want to go with the proven guy? Does Gilmore even want to be here next year? I know he's saying all the right things. He's home. His wife likes it here, but at his age, is the urge to compete for a championship going to overtake, the urge to want to just be close to home? And I don't think we'll be in a position to be competing for anything next year. So that'll be a big decision on his part. Donte, I just think from his traits, his playmaking ability, he'll have a market as well. So, I wouldn't be surprised if we lose both of them. I wouldn't be surprised if we sign one of them, but I don't think bringing both back just makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, definitely doesn't. Even though I like both of them. No, we don't do politics here like that. We'll skip that one. They definitely don't believe in Rhule, not playing for him. I just know they don't like that 2 QB bullshit. I'm not a fan of it either. I think Will mentioned earlier, it's hard for a quarterback to get in any type of rhythm, with this rotation of quarterbacks. Like I don't think any other team in the NFL is doing this but us. So, Matt Rhule talking about like both quarterbacks and using them. You think it works? Just more bullshit that's spewing from his mouth. Says Smooth audio is acting up. Okay, Smooth, they were saying seem to have some audio issues. I didn't hear on my end, but just to let you know. Hashtag send Rhule back to school. I agree. Zach Perkins thoughts on the Sam Darnold situation and way we gotta get out of that contract. Zach, more than likely we're gonna have to eat that contract. Unless there's a sucker out there that's willing to take it. I started thinking while I was at the game, maybe that's why Rhule is wanting to play Darnold, to see if he can show enough improvement to get any type of interest. That is something I thought as maybe a possibility, but I don't know. Matt Rhule seemed to be pretty stubborn. I think he'll try to do everything he can to put Sam in a position to possibly be the starter quarterback again next year. Since, like I said, traded and gave up so much for it. But who knows? Who knows what how this offseason is going to go? Let's see. John Brayboy, we already covered this, so sorry I missed it. Guys, how we dig ourselves out of this mess with limited draft picks is even possible in the near future. Honestly, I think what's happened this year probably going to set us back at least 2 or 3 years. That's my own opinion. I don't know how the guys feel. Real quickly, Big Smooth and Will, how far back you feel like what's took place this year has set us? I'm saying about 2 to 3 years myself.
Let's see. I think I'll say maybe 2 years at most. The question is, where are we going to pick? Right now we're picking at 6. I don't like to get into that, tank for whoever thing, because every time we start, on the tank bandwagon, the Panthers win a game. Maybe they beat the Bucks backups, or maybe they beat the Saints, who are playing Ian Book at quarterback. So, for all we know, we may end up winning a game and we won't have a top 5 pick like we're expecting to. We'll just have to wait to see how that plays out. In the draft, do you recoup some of those day 2, day 3 picks and trade back? But I think that this isn't really a good year to trade back because, one, there's not really a blue chip QB prospect that another team will say, oh, man, we have to go get that guy. We'll give you a first next year. We'll give you our first this year and a couple day 2 picks this year as well. Like the 49ers gave up to move up and get Trey Lance. Who's going to give that up this year when there's no, top-tier blue chip quarterback prospects, that anyone's going to want? They're going to trade up for a cornerback or an offensive tackle, and if so, what would they be willing to give up then? And then on top of that, teams like the Giants and Jets, they have 2 top 10 picks each. I'm sure one of those teams are going to want to trade back as well, at least with one of those picks. So that's going to further water down all the offers we're going to get to try to trade back and recoup some of those picks. So I mean, I think a lot depends on where we end up in the draft and whether if we're top 5, maybe that's a more premium pick where we can trade back and recoup some of that. But we'll have to see what happens. Or do we just take a blue chip player like a Evan Neal or a Kyle Hamilton and turn in the card, take your player, and call it a night? As far as cap space, I think you'll have some cap casualties. Do you restructure Shaq Thompson? If you still want him here, do you, I'm not sure about the cap hits for a lot of other players, but you'd always have flexibility and options with salary caps. I wouldn't get too caught up in that. When you look at teams like the Saints, I think they're $60 million over the cap, but they always find a way to bring in new players and restructure guys to stay under the limit. So Samir Suleiman is going to have to work his magic, but I'm more worried about the draft capital definitely than the salary cap. I think if they want players, they'll bring them in. We'll just have to figure out what we do on draft day.
All right, moving on here. Try to get everybody's here, grind it down. Longtime friend Chaka Smith, aka True Historian. He said Jay-Z. Yeah, I know, man. Yeah, the memes that came out after that were pretty funny though. Rhule Z and all that other stuff. Yeah, that was definitely comical. Damian Felder. Matt Rhule seemed like a guy who feels like he's the smartest guy in the room. Yeah, he definitely is. He comes across as a smooth talking, used car salesman to me now. I didn't believe that at first. Had others mention it. Like I said, Big Smooth been on it since last year. So I'll take my crow on Matt Rhule because I definitely once he was the choice, I supported him. But I'm done with him. I have nothing. He gives me nothing to root for him about, to be honest. I think he's a great man. I think he's probably a great man, good college football coach. But I definitely want him out of Charlotte as soon as possible. Let's see. Cowboys scored more versus Washington than we have all of December. Yeah, you know what? I actually looked that up after the score of the game because I think Dallas scored. I think it was final score was 56-14. Yeah, and that's more than we've scored all this damn month, which is, that should say enough right there. All right, we got Alston Bruder here. Excuse me if I mess it up. It says, I saw PNP rated Christian pretty well this week. What do y'all think? He looked good to me outside a couple of plays. Normally, I'll flip this over to Big Smooth. I mean, if you want to speak on it, he can. I know you said you got your 8 hours of sleep, so you didn't watch the game. Christian played solid for the most part. Then the bottom kind of fell out towards the end of the game. That was my personal observation of Christensen, but I definitely feel like that he's deserves a chance they should compete for strictly just left tackle moving forward. Now, am I saying that I think that he's the franchise guy left tackle? No, I do not. But I definitely feel like he's showed well enough to where that should be the spot that he should be trying to earn his reps at left tackle. Maybe left guard in certain situations, but definitely more left tackle than anything. Personally, I'm a fan of Michael Jordan maybe coming back to solidify that left guard with a full off season, but that's just me. Another one of our longtime fans, Bill Spires. Hey guys, a little late. Happy New Year. Thanks, Bill. Question: how many O-line guys will we need this offseason? 5 slots. How many new ones do y'all think? Big Smooth. O-line is our thing. You want to answer this for Bill? What give your own personal assessment about the what you think we need to do offensive line wise coming up?
You asked me a question?
Yeah. Bill Spires, he had a question. He said, how many O-line guys will we need this offseason? He said 5 slots. How many do you think we need? I was going to say, I know you didn't watch the game yesterday, but just as you said, watching the O-line unit as a whole. Like, what you think?
Got to address the center position. Only guys I'm interested in bringing back, period, are probably just Taylor Moton and Michael Jordan. I think Cam Irvin and Pat Elflein are under contract. I don't view them as starters at all. So I think you got to address a guard position, the center position, and a tackle position, to be honest with
you. Yep. Yeah, I'm with you there. All right, another comment from Damien. Rhule talks about patience, but this regime was impatient at the most important position on the team. Quarterback, I agree. So quick to get rid of our bridge QB and Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, I definitely agree. And replace him with a worse quarterback in Donte by giving up valuable draft capital. Damon, it's like you've been in our four-man rush chat that we do. We're pretty much all in agreement with literally word for word what you just said there. Definitely was rushed. You can make an argument, should have, instead of paying out this money for these quarterbacks, we should have just re-signed Cam from the beginning. Even if we didn't, I think we definitely should have let Teddy play out his 3-year contract. It was team friendly. So yeah, total agreement with you there. Zach Perkins, let both walk in my opinion. I think he's talking about cornerbacks. Zach, if you are, I'm thinking you're talking about Donte and Gilmore. Hey, it could happen. I mean, like I said, our money real funny right now, and unfortunately, it's not fun to laugh at. He also says, completely agree, we won't be happening to 2023 at best unless we trade back and hit on damn near every pick. Good luck with that. Meech, go get Colin Kaepernick, compete with Sam, LOL. No. And I'm going to leave that there. Last one here. Julie, forgive me, is it pronounced Gooey? Gooey. Agree, done with Matt. Yeah, definitely done with Matt Rhule. You won't find anybody in the four-man rush that's saying, give this guy one more year. But it looks like all signs are pointing that he stays. So only thing I think that possibly could maybe change Shepard's mind is if we get another 20-point beating, in New Orleans and at Tampa, that's really embarrassed because I don't know if you guys know, but we got flexed into the 4:25 time slot on Saturday. So we're kind of in a prime time game spot. So, yeah, all eyes going to be on us. I don't know what caused them to do that. I don't know if because the Saints are chasing in the wild card and a win against us, if they win against us, that would help get them in the wild card race. I don't know. Was it a Jay-Z comment? Everybody want to see. Skip Bayless calling us a clown show. I mean, whatever their logic for flexing the game into from 1 o'clock to 4 o'clock, 4:20 rather, is very interesting to me. But hey, it is what it is, and we'll be there for it. John Callishaw. If a franchise left tackle center is available for our first-round pick, do we choose him or trade back for more picks? Again, this is something we done discussed in the four-man rush chat. Me personally, and I'll let Will and this all-line question, Big Smooth, you can chime in this if you want to. If a franchise left tackle center is available, do we choose him? I say yes, primarily because, Will, you've been said it doesn't matter if we choose a quarterback or offensive tackle. It's not going to solve our problems. We're not just one top 5 player pick away from turning things around. So, me personally, I like the center out of Iowa. I definitely think he would be a great piece to rebuild our offensive line with. Lindenbaum, I think his name is. I think that's his name. Come off the top of my head. But Will, then Smooth, y'all want to tackle this real quickly? I know it's talking about if one of those blue chip linemen sitting there where we pick at, grab them or trade back.
I think when you're as bad as the Panthers are, you take the best player available. I think it would be nice to get a blue chip left tackle. I think right now Evan Neal's probably the guy a lot of people are thinking is worth a top 10 pick. But I think you just have to adjust your expectations as well. One rookie left tackle is not going to come in and solve our offensive line problems in 2022. I mean, I know Neil is working with Big Duke, Duke Manyweather, as well as Charles Cross is as well. But we'll get into the film later this spring. But to me, I think they're more athlete than technician, like we saw last year with Penei Sewell and Rashawn Slater. So the question is, what's their technique like? Are they going to be able to? Are they plug and play starters? They're going to come in and play as well as Slater and Sewell did this year, or are they going to be more of the Andrew Thomas types that maybe need a year to get develop under their belt? We know we don't have the greatest O-line coach who's good at developing guys. So how's that going to affect their growth and how quickly they're able to transition into starting roles on the team? So I think it's still a lot of question marks. It'd be nice to get a blue chip player. I think at 5, you got to take BPA, no matter who it is in the top 5. I just don't believe in reaching for need at that spot. But, I'd love to have a Evan Neal or somebody like that on the team. But I just think as fans, we have to adjust our expectations and realize just because we draft a kid, at 5 who might be a franchise left tackle, he's not going to put on a Superman cape, swoop in and, resolve our entire offensive line issues. One, he may need some time to develop, transition into a starting role. 2, there's 3 other needs on the line that we badly need to address. And 3, where's the cohesiveness? They're going to need a year or 2 to play together and develop that chemistry. So I just think it's going to be a working process. It may take 1 or 2 years to fix that unit.
Anything you want to add to that, Big Smooth?
I mean, by me adding something, it sounds like I would be beating a dead horse, but we never address the offensive line on day one. We never draft blue chip guys, so the result that has made me so frustrated throughout this season and what you guys see every Sunday is the result of not addressing the offensive line on day one. So we're in the pickle because we only have one top 100 pick. I guess for the team's sake, you want to trade back and acquire more picks, but we still don't have we don't have a blue chip guy. So, I mean, depends on who's on the board. If Evan Neal is there, I'm drafting him. Or if Cross is there, I'm drafting him day one, regardless of where we at in the first round. But if I got to trade back and acquire picks, I'm hoping to get a second or third round pick so I can get somebody like Jamari Salyer from Georgia. Regardless, we got to address this offensive line on no later than day 2. So I don't know how they're going to figure it out. If they don't address the offensive line no later than day 2, I won't be watching next year. There's no point in me put myself through this anymore. Like, this is like suicide watching this football team every Sunday. You got to be chaotic to keep watching this product. I'm done with it.
Said it's the only way Big Smooth can. All right, back to you, Bill Spires. Okay, here's my negative question. I noticed on Sunday when at the game, the Panthers sideline uses cardboard signs like college. Do you ever remember other NFL teams using stupid signs to signal stuff into the game? Next up will be pictures of spaghetti and Scooby-Doo. Actually, to be honest with you, Bill, that's a great point. I actually have not noticed that. Like I say, as the season has worn on, my care has dwindled for detail. I don't know, in watching other games, if y'all seen other teams do this. I definitely see this a lot in college. Again, Will, if you want to chime in this, I know you watch a lot of different games. Have you ever seen NFL teams using the college signs to signal into the game?
Yeah, I saw one team doing it yesterday. I think some teams may just do it as a distraction because you know how Bill Belichick likes to steal signals and things like that. So I haven't paid attention to that though. It's a good point he brought up. I have to pay more attention on other teams' sidelines, but I did see somebody doing it yesterday in one of the afternoon games.
Okay, so it might not be as uncommon as we think, but again, we haven't paid attention. So thanks, Bill. That's something we'll definitely keep our eye out on. All right, well, we're at the 55-minute mark and got through all the questions. Again, want to thank each and every last one of you again for, joining in here with us on a 4-man rush. I know this season hasn't been easy. I know a lot of you, that I recognize through social media on your accounts have engaged in many diverse conversations about this team, what's going on. Trust me, we know it's not easy because it's not easy for us to, try to put out, content that we haven't already, slice and dice up so many ways. It's only so many ways you can, cook chicken. You know what I'm saying? That's how it is about this team. It's just the way they playing repeatedly. It's just only so much we can discuss. So we appreciate you guys sticking through us as we walk through this mud and muck. Final wrap up here, guys. Big Smooth, Will. Any closing comments or statements that you have?
Nope, this is torture. Keep pounding.
Yeah, I got much to say. I mean, just, hang out, ride with us for these last 2 weeks, and hopefully we'll get to kick in the gear, start up the draft content, have something more exciting to talk about at the close of this season, maybe even a new coaching search.
All right, and with that being said, on behalf of everybody with the 4-man rush, again, want to thank Big Smooth and Will for taking time out their busy schedules to share their thoughts and their insights here. As always, I'm Country Kev. Make sure you guys follow us on Twitter, Facebook. Definitely check out our Instagram page, which is ran by Big Smooth. So, I know a lot of you guys are a fan of Big Smooth and his commentary. So definitely you can follow us on our 4-man rush IG page that he runs directly himself. As y'all know, Will's the 4-man rush on our Twitter account, and I primarily do the Facebook account, but we all have access. But anyway, just thank you everyone for supporting the 4-man rush. We'll catch you guys out there in social media land. Until the next time, y'all take care. What a rush.